all for braving the rain and the cold to help us launch this slate of candidates. We're really appreciative of your support. It really means a lot. So we're here today to tell you a little bit basically about the who and the why. Who are we and why are we running for this really very important school board race? So who am I? Some of you may know. I'm Amy Bader. I've served on the State College Area School District School Board for over 7 years, 4 of those as the vice president. And why am I running? Well, it makes me think of a saying many of us know, largely that I'm trying to embrace, and that's about being a jack of all trades. And now this quote's kind of evolved for many of us who are older, right? We grew up learning about jack of all trades, sound pretty favorable. Then we learned there was a little bit more to the quote, jack of all trades, but a master of none, and that's kind of a bummer, right? It doesn't feel so positive, but thanks to Instagram and TikTok and our kids, probably you've heard that quote just a little bit longer than we'd heard before. And that's that it's a jack of all trades and is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of none. And I've spent my whole adulthood becoming a jack of all trades. And nowhere is that more needed right now than as a school director. In my time of service, I've learned a lot, as one should when you're part of an educational institution. But to be successful in this role really requires an extraordinarily diverse skill set. It's not enough to just want the best for kids or care about the finances of the district. It really demands an individual be ready to learn about, and most importantly, build competency in a variety of topics. School board work spans the gamut of governance. There are the nuts and bolts of education, things like curriculum, pedagogy, instructional techniques, programs, diversity of resources, and on and on. And these subjects are complex in and of themselves. But then one must consider the other realms. And I'm going to give you a wealth of them as a list, but this still will only be a taste of what we are involved with as school directors. Key knowledge has to be understanding the role of the board, what it can and cannot do. You need to be able to foster collaboration between the 8 other board members and the superintendent. You've got to hone your communication skills. These have to be both within the institution and with the community. You have to develop finance and budget skills. That's a pretty big one. Advocacy skills in so many ways, both with other government entities and local community groups. You're involved in policy making, facilities planning, consensus building, understanding the legal requirements of schools, handling things like, say, public health issues. That would be a big one. Understanding the Commonwealth structure of funding schools and the Act 1 Index. Developing skills in collective bargaining, addressing equity, understanding federal programs, legal requirements for child find and gifted services, management of human resources, allocating funds as a means of demonstrating priorities, knowing about charter school funding, that's another important one in our community, and knowing weird, quirky things like the fact that Pennsylvania requires us to bus private school students and how that may impact your district's decision making. And regardless of what you prefer to think is the right choice, society has left a variety of social challenges to schools. And that means a school director must understand these impacts and know how to address them, because kids that are unable to be fed, healthy, or content are not ready to learn. So you get the idea. This is a little taste, and the breadth of these subjects is substantial. A school director must be willing and really eager to embrace all of that, every single piece of it, to have a hunger to learn about the complexity of these issues and how they interact or compete with one another. And a school director must be prepared to discuss the nuances of those interactions and how they impact district decision-making, tongue twister, with the community. So I've tackled these kinds of things for the last 7 years, and I've enjoyed it, believe it or not, despite the difficult times, and I'm more than prepared to keep on doing it. SCASD is ready to launch itself too. I really believe we're at a place where we're becoming an inclusive place of belonging where all students can succeed. And what I know, without question, is these individuals on either side of me have that hunger, and they are ready to do the work, to keep learning keep learning for some of us, and have the commitment that our community needs to be prepared to serve the State College Area School District. And I have to just say, I'm just so proud to run for another term with this group.